All right, everybody, in this one, we have a 2016 Kia Sorento, and the issue is the horn isn't working. All right, so here is the wiring diagram. So what we're gonna do real quick is go through how this works, and then we can start the diagnosing. So we have our steering wheel horn switch, which is actually gonna be the horn unit itself, or the horn pad. Then that goes through your clock spring, and then from there it comes through this connector EM11, and then from EM11 it grounds out a portion of the relay, which then activates the coil and closes your switch. The other side of the relay has your fuse. So what we're gonna do is check this fuse real quick, and then from there we're gonna check and make sure that we have our ground coming out of where the relay is. And then we're gonna check the left and right horns to make sure that they are working. So what we have here is two horns, so we're gonna check it. Since both horns aren't working, I'm suspecting that probably either a relay or a control issue, but let's get that checked and we'll go from there. All right, so our horn fuse is right here, so we're just gonna take and check that real quick. As we can tell, our horn fuse does work. Give you guys a view of that. Okay, horn is right here. So horn fuse does work. Now everything for the horn itself, the relay, is actually internal on the PCB. So but what we can do is test and make sure that we have a ground coming out of a gray wire that's going to be in this connector, or going into this connector. So I'm going to locate the connector diagram, and we're going to see where that gray wire is, because we have one that's right here and one that's right here. So we have to try to locate the right one. Okay, so I'll get the connector diagram and we'll go from there. All right, so right now what I have is I got the my test light teed into a positive. I got my other end of my test light onto the control side. Let me turn that off real quick. Onto the control side of the clock spring, leading up or going out to the relay if you want. Okay, give you guys a view of that real quick. Hopefully you guys can see it. So all I'm going to do now is just come in and push on my horn switch, and as you can tell, my horn switch lights. So what that means is that horn switch to here is good. So we're going to move on to the next step now. All right, so I'll give you guys a view of what I did. I came down and removed the little screw that's underneath here that holds part of the bumper and spot. Moved the clips on the side. This was already broken. I did not do that. I got to the horn assembly that lives all the way back here. Give you guys a view of that. All right. Okay. The horn assembly, I'll point to it so you guys can see where the connector is. I'm plugged into the connector right now. And just plugged it on to both sides because I wanted to test and make sure that wasn't the horn that was defective. And I'll give you guys a view of this. We're gonna push the horn and watch the light. And as you can tell, it lights. So what does that mean? We got defective horns on this one. Total diagnostic time, roughly about, I don't know, 25 minutes, give or take, to get to the panels and everything else. But that's it on this one. It needs two horns apparently. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, give you guys a little bonus footage here. What I did quickly was that I removed the alarm horn that's on this side, and I came over and I plugged it in. And this is just to show you guys that it truly is a horn. Okay, I'm gonna push. Okay, there we go. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. So quickly, I'm gonna go over the process of the diagnostic steps that I took in order to determine that the wiring and everything was good. All right, so the first thing we did was that we came down and we tested our horn switch. The way we did that is we tested at EM11, which was in the driver's side kick panel. So what we did was we hooked up our test light to battery positive, and we were testing for the ground circuit that was coming out from here. When we press the horn switch, the switch is closed and it sounds out of ground all the way through the clock spring, all the way up to EM11. So we knew that right off the start that our horn switch and our clock spring were good because we were able to get our ground signal out at this EM11 pin 21. The next thing that we did is that we bypassed the fuse box because it's an integrated circuit. All right, so it's very hard for us to actually get in there and test the relay itself We could test the wiring going up to the relay, but in order to do that, we would have to remove the fuse box, which it's actually faster to remove part of the front bumper than it is to get the fuse box out and the wire testing and the wires tested. So I opted to go for the horn assembly itself, so that way now we can test from all the way over here all the way through, and our power coming out down to our horns. So all I did was disconnect the one connector, which I took the left hand horn, disconnected it, hooked, and I just hooked up a test light in the place of the horn, and from there we were able to see that the light actually lit whenever I pressed the horn switch, so that indicated that the relay was working, the wiring was good, and all we had at that point was a faulty horn.